Welcome, friends, to this small session on Chi. Chi or prana is a very important concept in acupuncture philosophy. In fact, Chi and prana is not limited to acupuncture. It is the information that helps you in all spheres of your life. As an acupuncturist, you must understand that Chi is not only theory, but Chi is the very energy that you have to understand and you have to use in your practice. According to all the ancient texts, whether it is Chinese, whether Japanese, whether from India, or from any other country in the world, almost all of them have a understanding of a universal energy. And in acupuncture, the whole philosophy is based on Taoism. It states that the whole universe is made up of prana or chi. And this chi, it transforms into different phases, into different elements. And it is the transformation of chi that gives rise to the different features of our universe. This chi is not only a material substance, it is not only a physical entity, but this chi is also a functional energy that makes things happen. So, if you want to be a successful acupuncturist, you need to understand Chi very, very clearly. And if you understand Chi very clearly, then you can treat any illness, any patient that comes to your clinic. Now, when we are trying to study Chi, we have to study it in a very, very systematic way. Otherwise, we can get lost. As a therapist, your prime duty is to heal your patient. And if you want to heal your patient, you have to understand the philosophy of your therapy. And we find that many acupuncturists, they follow standard prescriptions. Okay, for pain in the knee, this is the prescription, these are the set of points. If it is pain in the head, you have an headache, okay, these are the points that are useful. If you have fever, cold, these are the points. That is not the correct way. Because if you have to understand Chi, you have to go into its philosophy. And then only you will understand how to make a prescription, how to arrive at the combination of points that are useful in that particular condition at that point of time. So, let me take you through this introductory session. And this introductory session is to give you a glimpse of what you can learn when you study Chi and Prana, both philosophically as well as medically. So let us start the presentation, and at the end of the presentation, we will be answering your queries. So please make a note of your queries or type it in the chat box, but we will be answering them at the end of the session. So friends, here we have our presentation. This is all about mastering Chi, and Chi is the energy of life. We have to discover the ancient wisdom of Chi energy and its vital role in our health and our life. Now, what will we be studying today? We will be covering these 11 points. Try to understand the gist of all of these so that you get an overview, and then you can proceed towards enrolling for the details of such a program. In acupuncture philosophy, there is a concept of the three treasures. What are the three treasures? The first one is Jing, or the essence. This is the nutritive essence that is stored in the lower abdomen. It represents our fundamental constitution and reproductive energy. Please remember that in acupuncture, there is a whole subject known as fundamental constitution or original constitution. That means every person is having his or her nature, and they respond according to their nature. And it is a good idea to study what different types of constitutions are there. Then it will help you to give an accurate prescription. The second treasure is called Chi, or vital energy. Now, this is the life force flowing through our bodies. It animates us and powers all physical functions. So we have the Jing as the essence, we have the Chi as the vital energy, and then we have Shen, which is the spirit. The spirit is the spiritual consciousness residing in our upper thoracic cavity. It governs our mental and emotional states. So, if you think about this, you will notice that whenever you are emotionally disturbed, you feel something in your chest, you feel something in your throat, some choking, some heaviness, because the spirit is reacting and it resides in the upper thoracic cavity. Let's move forward. Once you have understood the three treasures, now let us come to the subject of Chi. Chi is broadly divided into two parts, the pre-heaven and the post-heaven. What is pre-heaven? It is the energy that is inherited at conception. It forms the constitutional foundation, and it is limited. So please remember, you are born with a constitution. You cannot change it. It is the pre-heaven chi which is making your constitution. And the post-heaven chi is derived from food and air. It is continuously replenished and it supports your daily functions. Now, what is pre-heaven chi? First of all, it is inherited. It has a connection at your kidneys areas. It is known as the minister fire and stored in dew form. It provides warmth. So please remember that whenever there is a constitutional problem, a genetic problem, where a child is weak from birth, please remember to use dew 4 in an appropriate way. And on the inside, the pre-heaven chi is at Ren 4. It provides the material substance. So these are some of the fundamentals of pre-heaven chi. What is post-heaven chi? Post-heaven chi is about food chi transformation, which you get from digestion. It sustains primordial energy. That means to some extent, it helps to replenish the yuan chi. And the primary source of post-heaven chi is the spleen and stomach. We all know that spleen and stomach are responsible for digestion, but it is also used to sustain primordial energy or the yuan chi to some extent. That is why it is very important to have a good digestive system. So now we have briefly understood what is pre-heaven, what is post-heaven. Let us go forward. Now, the same concept we have to understand with different terms. These are the terms which are also used. The congenital chi, which earlier we have described as the pre-heaven. You are born with it, it is limited, it defines your constitution. Then there is acquired chi from food and air. It is replenished and supports your daily functions. So between these two terms, the pre-heaven and the post-heaven, and the congenital and acquired chi, the concept is the same. So some of them call it pre-heaven, some of them call it congenital, and post-heaven is also known as acquired chi. This is the better terminology to understand chi. Now, congenital chi, what does it do? Okay, we all know that it is formed at conception. It houses the vital essence in the kidney area. It is essential for development. That means the child gets the energy to grow based on congenital chi. So in the first few years of their life, irrespective of the food they eat, the congenital chi is helping them grow. Because there is a logical question sometimes, okay? The child is on mother's milk, which of course they describe as a complete food, but yet they thrive as if they are getting everything from the mother's milk, but that is not 100% true. It is their congenital chi which is making them grow. The milk, the mother's milk is just providing some raw material. The congenital chi is the energy, the milk is the raw material. Both of them combine and help the child grow. And the congenital chi in the body is represented as Jing and Yuan Qi. So Jing is the essence and Yuan Qi is the energy. Acquired Qi structure, the terms that are used are Guqi, that is the food essence, Kongqi, that is the air energy. Then both of them combine and form the Zongqi in the pectoral region, which is also known as gathering energy. And this is acted upon by Yuan Qi, converted to Zen Qi, which is the foundation of your Yin and Wei Qi. Okay, so now, right from pre-heaven, post-heaven Qi, we have arrived at Yin and Wei Qi, which is sometimes referred to as protective Qi or Yang also. So, in our day-to-day life, in our day-to-day practice, when we use the term Yin and Yang, we are actually referring to the true energy that is derived from Zen Qi. So, these are the terms that will be useful because these are the disturbances that you can identify at the levels. Okay, so remember Guqi, Kongqi, Zongqi, and Zenqi as a sequence, and you can have an illness at any level of these four. Now we discussed about Jing or the essence. It is an essence that is derived from the parents and supplemented by the acquired chi, that is food and air. Okay, we have seen that. It drives growth, reproduction, and development. So, whenever there are problems with growth, suppose a child is not growing well, his height is stunted due to many reasons, you can use the Jing stimulation to help him grow as per his normal genetic structure permits. Then the Jing also is responsible for your reproduction and overall development. Clinical relevance is that bones, learning, and hearing, they are all linked to Jing. So, when somebody has weak bones, osteoporosis, prone to arthritis, or somebody is having a poor academics where they are not able to learn well, they are not doing well in school, or they have hearing issues, it is all connected to Jing. So you have to balance Jing energy if you want to give results. And of course, Jing is primarily stored in the kidneys. Now, we have seen the sequence, okay, from Yuan Qi to the gathering Qi acted upon by the Guqi and the Kongqi. Now, what happens when there is a problem or a functional issue with Yuan Qi? So, Yuan Qi itself is derived from Jing. It is an energy source. It stimulates all organ activities. It is distributed from Mingmen. Mingmen is the center in between the kidneys. It is the center, and then it is distributed via the extraordinary meridians to the organs and the main channels. And this is the foundation for acquired qi development. So understand the difference between yuan qi and the essence. Now, what will you study when you are trying to do this course, the 5 to 6 sessions of mastering Qi? First of all, you have to learn about the different types of Qi. We just saw some of the names: Yuan Qi, Zhong Qi, Zen Qi, Wei Qi, etc. So, what are the different types of Qi, different levels, how they flow? They have to be studied. Then you have to understand the level of disturbance. Which level is disturbed? Next comes etiology. That means why are they disturbed? What has caused the disturbance? Now, after you have understood the level of disturbance, the cause, then you have to know how to generate the healing energy. You have to understand how you will use your knowledge of Qi. And lastly comes the most important point, which is usually not read about. It is the production of special functional Qi. Now, what do I mean by that? If I tell you that everything is yin and yang, it is not enough. Because even in our body, modern science describes thousands of chemicals, so many hormones, so many enzymes, so many nutrients in our body. Similarly, the chi also transforms into different energy units that you have to use if you want to heal accurately. If you have a liver problem, which energy you need? If you have a lung problem, which energy you need? You can study that. Now, I have simplified this for you. What are the special functional qis that you can stimulate with your needles? So, the basic information is about yin and wei qi, that is the common yin and yang that we talk about. Then there is a level for the organ chi. Remember, it is not only the yin and yang. You can even stimulate organ chi. It has its own functions, its own role. Then there is something known as brain chi. We have found out that the yin and wei chi can further be specialized into organ chi, which can further be specialized into brain chi. Again, you can convert it into reproductive chi, which is also very important. Coincidentally, brain and uterus are termed as special organs in acupuncture philosophy. And being special organ, they also produce special chi. So this two, the brain chi and reproductive chi, are special chi formulations that our body makes. Then we have the five senses chi and the higher chi, which is connected to consciousness. So these are the different categories of chi that you can manufacture when you are practicing. And why you need to manufacture? That you will know only when you understand which chi is the problem, at what level there is a illness, and then you can select from these categories what kind of chi you are going to stimulate, how you are going to use the needles, to say produce organ chi, how you're going to use the needles or any other form of stimulation to make brain chi or reproductive chi. That is very, very important. And this is a whole series. Okay, today was the introduction on the scientific philosophy of chi, and from July onwards, we will be taking chi and elements, because the element theory, as you all know, is also very important. But you have to understand that elements are nothing but the different phases of chi. That means there is no difference between the element and chi. It is just the difference of transformation. For example, we have water, we have steam, we have ice. Though there are different formats, the base is the same. So chi is the same, but it can be transformed to wood, fire, earth, metal, water, etc. But the wood is not different than chi, it is just a form of chi with special functions that are generated in that particular form. So that is how you have to understand this subject, and you have to understand this particular formula. Types of chi, levels of disturbance, etiological factors, generation of healing energy, and production of the special functional chi. So then you will be able to do this kind of magic as shown in this picture. So friends, this was a brief introduction on this subject of the scientific philosophy of chi. And then we can move further into understanding the practical aspects of this, because philosophical aspects may not be very useful in your clinical practice. They have uses for making a purposeful living. That is a very different topic. But when you understand chi, the different levels, how they are transformed into elements, how they are disturbed, this is when you will be able to use the technology of chi and the elements. So with this, I conclude the presentation on the scientific philosophy. And now we will be open for questions.